Hey. Ho, 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 ho. Welcome to Outside the Box. I'm your host, Kate of Gaia, and we're going to have a bit of a fun show tonight. We're going to talk about American Idol for the next 2 hours. I'm kidding. Anyway, throw out my cell phone and Wi-Fi? Are you shitting me? How the hell am I supposed to get tapped and teach anybody anything? Not a chance. Anyway, we have Tony and Santos joining us tonight, and Cyndi is about to come on the board as well, so we're going to have a little bit of fun. A whole lot of fun, and that's all there is to it. So get ready for an even further awakening as we unravel the present past, which is what you're living in right now, because it had to be here. Otherwise, it would be future. You follow? Anyway, I'll get into that concept a bit more, try to explain what the Yellow Brick Road really is and how you can get home to the Emerald City. Within you. Hey, Tony, Santo, you guys there? Are you all good?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All good.
Oh, good. Excellent. And like I said, we're just waiting for Cyndi here. Isn't it funny? No sooner do... Oh, by the way, I should let people know that on the 24th, 25th, and the 26th, I did send out the invocation of the cross. And if you do the math, it's 242526, which is 678, which is 21, which is 777. Kind of works, doesn't it? Of course, and I set my times so that it would go out accordingly, using the proper numerological techniques that they like to use in the black magic realms. And isn't it funny that as soon as something like that goes out, that people come out of the woodwork, eh, Santo?
Oh, yeah, they do. They do. People are showing their true colours now. They just can't handle this level of truth. There's a lot of jealousy, Kate. You got no idea. Apparently now, Dallas Goldbug has posted that I am Santos Bonacci is David Patrick Kelly. Of course, he's the moron who says that Fonzie from Henry Whittaker, what's his name, Winkler, from the old Fonzie, is none other than Ahmadinejad running Iran. Of course, you can imagine how he does his, charities and his public performances and everything, and then he goes back to run Iran, and then comes back to do his Fonzie shit, and then he goes back to do the Iran shit. This guy's obviously got his hands in the wrong places, I think. Dallas Goldbug.
Yeah, and some of the things about Dallas, some of his work has been exceptional, but here's the thing, when you're dealing with truth and fiction, and disinformation and real information, you got to present both. That's how you approach credibility. So I do not debunk everything that Dallas does. At the same time, I do not support everything he does either. I take out of it what is real and resonates with me. And he's exposed a lot of the Occupation Wall Street people, the actors, the ones for Sandy Hook, the ones for the Aurora, false flag events. He's exposed a group of people, and it's always the same families, the same groups of actors and individuals that are showing up, like in the Griffin shooting. It's mind-boggling once you see it. But honestly, that's Dallas. You're going a little too far with Santo. Jesus. Anyway.
He's got. There you go. He's not a bad-looking guy, so that's good. At least he didn't put me with a monster or something like that. But who is David Patrick Kelly, anyway? Is he the musician?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. We'll Google him up and see who you are, Santo. You imposter, you. Yeah, it's not that I talk to you every day and what have you. I just again, Dallas, if you want to maintain your credibility with me and others, I would highly recommend that you do a little bit better homework than that. So and no harm to you, my friend. It's you've done some great work, and you've had some hits and misses. So stop taking yourself so seriously. No, I don't know what level of the game he's playing at either. Is he a director or producer? Is he one of the starring role here in this movie? Is he just an extra? He's certainly not audience, I can tell you that much.
He is an absolute imbecile and a moron. That's what he is.
Okay. I'll still stick to some of the proofs that he put up, but that's okay. That doesn't make him the star. It makes he's got a good eye for things, for some things. So certainly for what he's trying to say, but it's not doing his credibility any good. So sorry, Dallas, you're going to get a big gray star on this one. No gold stars today. But that being said, let's move on. Now, who else we got on the Better Attack Kate, Santo, Tony, and the crew list? Any other inputs? I can think of a couple.
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah. Oh, well, I just have to go back to one of my dear friends, Carrie Lee. Invited her to my home, fed her and family, and isn't it interesting that the same time that I met Kevin Annette, that she was there at the reservation, everything went south between me and Kevin. And isn't it funny that the same thing happened with Dean Clifford? And what she had been spreading about me with Dean Clifford was I was a drunk and a drug addict and all the rest of it. I was always like ripped out of my mind anytime she saw me and stuff like that. And Dean and I had a good talk about that, and he actually apologized for believing that bullshit. And anyway, so that was, and actually I didn't really get a chance to hook up with Kevin until very recently, based on a lot of the innuendo I know that she was spreading about me as well. So, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm surprised she has a show on American Freedom Radio. That really kind of floored me. I'm thinking, okay, well, I guess if you're going to scrape the basement, you might as well scrape it good. Sorry, and that's not a derogatory. That's a fact.
Oh, yeah, and she's come out at me this morning, so I blocked her on Skype, and she blocked herself apparently on Facebook, so she thinks she's quite important, this woman, but she's going around obviously spreading poison. Unfortunately, she's on American Freedom Radio, and she thinks that I'm an egotistical maniac or something like that, and I ought to go back and have a listen to your shows with Kate. You guys are disgraceful. There's so much hatred, and there's so much anger and fear and everything. We're just bringing the remedies that will probably save the planet. You know, your document from yesterday, which will shut down the system, and the exposure that I'm bringing on astrotheology to shut down the churches that are raping all our little children, including probably hers. But you know, yeah. Let's attack Santos and Kate, shall we? So that none of these remedies can be utilised, and we can continue under the Jesuit raping system, shall we? Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a great point there too, and that's what I use as my barometer. I must be doing something right if people are coming out of the woodwork to, attack and pick things apart. And that's okay. Knock yourself out if you're having fun. If that's how you want to star in your movie, that's great.
These are people, Kate. Carrie Lee can throw herself in that bunch with Greg Renouf and the other Heather Martin, who wrote to me a couple of weeks ago explaining her position about how she's a seeker of light and truth. And Kevin Annett is a bad person. He's arrogant and he hurt our feelings. These people have been hurt by Kevin. Oh, well, isn't that awful? Someone who's about to pull the carpet from under the Catholic Church's Inquisition with his organisation, and they've been hurt by him, so they go around dissing him. I mean, this is how disgraceful imitators coming to the truth movement are. They just attention-grabbing, attention-seeking morons. Unfortunately, all of the names I've just mentioned, just a bunch of morons. You need to wake up. You need your bottoms spanked. You really, really need to come to this level of truth and lift yourselves up, guys. You can do it. You're just in the moron stage at the moment, but you can lift yourselves up and you can disseminate truth. You can do it. Lift up.
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about this earlier too. It's not. I got to tell you, and I know you, and I know Tony, and all the people I work with. There is no interest in becoming. This is the last thing I wanted. High profile. And I'm talking from the. Let's go back to the whole. I'm still coming to terms with who I am thing, and that's that's exactly the opposite of what I wanted. I mean, I was on center stage most of my life in terms of music, and that was never comfortable for me. So, you know, when that Judge Battles video comes out, I'm thinking, oh, great. You know, that's all I needed again, and I didn't. You know, it just seems to work out that way, and I'm the last one to want the limelight. So, Carrie Lee, if you want the limelight, go ahead. But you know, if you can't do it on your own merit, stop riding other people's coattails. If you think that's how you're going to do something, yeah, you're making yourself infamous. Absolutely. You know, you've attacked me so many times, and I'm still going to say, you know, pull up the boots there, kiddo. And you know, I still talk to George and Jody, and you know, a lot of stuff. I can only imagine what kind of filth you spread there. But George and Jody, I loved it, you know, dearly, and you too, Carrie. So don't think that I don't. If I didn't, I wouldn't be saying anything, right? But you know, whatever, to each their own. And if you want to attack yourself, because I am part of the one and thread, and when you start seeing how this game really works, yeah, I can see the desperation. You know, some people are clinging on to this to such a degree because they're so caught up in somehow this all being real, you know. So
and you'll notice, Kate, it's always the ones that have got nothing to present in terms of truth. I've got 21 4-hour presentations full of evidences showing that I've been researching, haven't I? I wonder what these other trolls and morons have presented. What teaching have they got? Have they got something? Have they got anything original? Anything? I mean, your document is original. It has come at the right time to save us from getting sodomized by the Jesuits and the bar and everything like that. This document is salvation. My presentations is absolutely mind-freeing. You will be freed. You will know the truth and you will be freed from my presentations, right?
Absolutely.
These Greg Renoufs and all the other ones that I've mentioned, I don't want to even mention their names again. What have they got? A little bit of airtime and attention-seeking on the airwaves, and that's about it. And behind the scenes, they're poisoning and backbiting and blocking and attacking and trolling. These are idiots. These are just pretenders. I put this out to folks today. Pretenders have got nothing to teach. Nothing. They've got nothing to teach. They've done no research. A bit like David Simonton, you know. You go to his webinars and all he says is, oh, the dark agenda is naughty. I don't like the dark agenda. The dark agenda are bad. And he repeats that like about 40,000 times in his 1-hour webinars. And I think there's 3 or 4 people that go and listen to him. And that's it. They have no original teachings. This is what separates the real truthers from the pretenders. All you pretenders, put out a video with some research in it, some truth, some real stuff. Like Ben Stewart, for instance. Like Peter Joseph, for instance. Michael Jordan, for instance. They've done some research, you know what I mean? That word research, where you have to actually study, you know, and not just do your little trolly little things. Yeah, you need to be a teacher. If you haven't got any teaching stuff, well, you're really just a pretender. Yeah, that's about it. They're pretenders. They're absolute pretenders, and they're backbiters, and they're little scorpions hiding behind crags. That's what they are.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So I guess we'll just create those who shall not be named club. So they're all in it, and yeah, enough of making them famous where they don't. They haven't earned it, you know. If you want to ride coattails, that's fine. Thank you for the compliment. If you think actually what I'm saying is worthwhile and worthy of coattailing, yeah, I guess whatever. Enjoy. Unfortunately, you're doing the exact same thing that got us in this trap in the first place. You're allowing others to paint on your canvas for you without making it your own. So it's all good.
Nothing to offer, but only jealousy in their hearts to pull down the ones who have. The ones who have got things to offer, products, goods, resources, remedies, relief, truth, light. Oh, and by the way, Carrie's a great fan of my stuff. I really love your work, Santos. But you're being possessed by your ego now. You're out of control. You and Kate, you're right out of control. It's all over for you. But your stuff's really good. Thanks for those remedies. Thanks for that light, because we ain't got any. Oh, it's ridiculous. Wow.
Well, yeah, it's funny, Hey, Cyndi, how are you? And Tony, pipe in here, guys. I want to hear you tonight. We're going to have some fun. This is the post-apocalyptic show here.
Yeah, I didn't know any of these guys that you're talking about, so I just sat back like,
You won't need to. They're insignificant. Trust me.
Oh,
Dallas Goldbug included. What a moron. To put my face in there with this David Patrick Kelly guy and say that I am he. I mean, come on.
I meant to ask you about that. I just ran across it.
This guy's finished. He's CIA. He's a shill. He's a troll. He's a moron. Guys, let's expose these morons and finish them once and for all on this planet. We don't need them. If we tolerate these morons any longer, we will not get out of this mess. It's time for action. Exposure and light. Light will make them disappear. Let's bring out the light, folks. Let's promise our listeners that there will be nothing but light. They don't have to, enjoy our individual voices. My voice might sound horrible on the radio. I don't know. I might even sound like, a person that you may not want to be a friend of. I don't care. But it's the truth because of the research that I've done that others haven't. And this is what separates the truthers, the true truthers. Goods and Michael and Matt Presti and Robert O'Tay brought that to my attention. A true genius, a true mystic, someone who has something to offer will, in fact, offer something. And you will notice the imitators, the fake ones who are really full of jealousy in their hearts. Unlike Kevin Annett, who has really, really given remedies and help and relief to the indigenous people. Hopefully they've got a way of getting out of their misery through his association and his organisation. And it's people like these who have really given something to offer. They've really done their work. They've really got a product. And they've done their research. So please, folks, remember that's the difference. That's the difference. If you've got something to teach and something to offer, that's what separates you from the pretenders. And there's plenty of pretenders out there. I'll call them out.
Yep, me too. Absolutely. Hey, Tony, that movie, the link you sent, Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah, again, it was, I can't remember. I think it was Victoria pointed that out. It was very interesting, wasn't
it? And then some.
Explains it how it is, kind of.
Yeah, well, it really lays it out, and of course, at the end of the movie, and it doesn't matter, guys. Every movie's the same anyway. At the end of the movie, where the Titan's arm comes out and crashes down, they want you to believe that it's something, bad, but actually, what's happening is the end of the sacrificing of our kindred souls. I thought it as, okay, there's the hand of Creator coming down and smashing the nonsense once and for all, the universal baby, right? So it's pretty cool.
Like you keep saying, we make our own future. If we just sit there cowering in the corner and let everybody do what the heck they want to, you deserve what you get. But if you get off your arse and do something about it, at least try and make an effort to, or do something, then you're making a contribution towards your own changed or altered future. And we can go into this in a lot of detail, but it's like the Bible code, when they uncovered the Bible code, and they put in 9/11. And then what actually came out of the Bible code, when it had cross-referenced all these codes that it works with, this is supercomputer stuff, it came out with obelisk along the pages. And then they overran the code, I think it was 3 times, and then it said the code actually spelled out it unless you change it, or unless you change things. And it's awesome. We've just gone down too many rabbit holes and found out the truth. The truth is we make our own future. So what are we going to do? Let the Illuminati and the churches and the royals and the rest of it make it for us, or are we going to make our own? Cool.
I'm into making it for our own. And by the way, Terry, just caught your message there. This is something that I really want people to focus on. How do we tell these people to grow up? We don't. Those are drama tornadoes. This is exactly what I'm trying to point out more so every day. You know, some people want to play house, and some people want to play this and want to play that and want to play the other and get involved in everyone else's little tornado and bitch about this family member and this what this asshole did to them one day and you get caught up in these quagmires of nonsense, right? So what we do is the easiest way to do it, and it goes into the Akashic anyway, is just to go, cool, I see it, I'm not going to be a part of it, and move on. And that's how you dispel it. That's how you get rid of the tornadoes. Because if you want to hang around the tornadoes, it's going to lift your house up and down, and it's going to keep crashing on your truth. And that is your witch of the east. It's going to get slaughtered every time, and it's not worth it. So we just, hey, it's already done. Let's move on. We got way more fun stuff to talk about than that, for sure. And the silence is golden. Oh my God.
Those comfortable silences, yeah.
I was just wondering where you were going to go with it. Different directions.
Oh, well, yeah, I want to talk about, this is what I really want to talk about, how Yellow Brick Road works in terms that everything that is around you, okay? I need everyone to kind of go on the Yellow Brick Road with me for a minute here. I want you to see how the game works. Everything that is around you right now is actually past. It had to be created before we got here. So it is, in fact, past. It exists, yes? Anything that is in existence is past. Because anything going to be coming into existence is future. So what we have here, this is not an easy concept to get across to people, but I'm going to do my best here. And I see this and it's like, wow. So we are actually in the past within these meat sticks. Because we had to start at the end of the game, the outcome, to return to self. That is, remember, there's two things. Let's go Walter Russell here. The two things we do are we have the urge to separate and then the urge to return. And in order to have that occur, we have to actually work it from both sides at the same time. You got to burn the candle at both ends at the same time, so you have a light in the middle. So here's what happens. If you want to think, I'll put it in concepts that you can get. If you think in terms of the future, we had the final return to home, and then what we do is we unravel that yarn, balls of yarn, and we have all these different threads coming out called you and me and everybody else of the one. And all the way back to this moment, we have laid breadcrumbs of the present. You know, things that you can follow to get home, right? All roads lead to Ro-Om, which is spirit breath, Om, creation, right? Rome. All roads lead to Rome. So when you can get the idea that what a coincidence is, or a synchronicity, what true synchronicity is something that was already placed there in the present to you, by you, to pick up on and follow those breadcrumbs home, Hansel and Gretel. And that's what we're doing. The Emerald City is as within, so without at the same time. We are merely the flame in the candle middle, with our candle burning at both ends. Does that kind of make sense?
Good analogy.
Makes a lot of sense.
Well, anything that exists has to be past. It's already here. The creation has already occurred. So we're working it backwards in the mirror. You know, so it clicked with me the other day. I'm thinking, oh my God, that's why everything has to be pre-sent. So when you see like Lionsgate Pictures pre-sent, okay, well, what did Lionsgate send us ahead as a clue so we can follow our rabbit trails, our yellow brick roads, and look for the things that are synchronistic in our own perspective. You see, because what resonates with me doesn't resonate necessarily with everyone else. But we will have common similarities that trigger things that you've experienced in your thread as you've led up to this moment. Because it's already been pre-planned. It's a perfect plan. It has to be perfect. And one of the things that kind of throws it off and makes it a bit more fun is, time jumps and stuff like that. But inevitably and fundamentally, there's no stopping us going back to source. We've already won. We'd never create a game we hadn't. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But we'd certainly create a game where it feels like we might. Therein lies the purpose. Oh, we're gonna die. No, you're not. You're infinite, you fool. And when you get to that kind of thinking and the fear leaves, the game becomes fun. And I mean, hey, listen, we've all been through our dramas and our different emotional things that have formed and shaped us. It's incredible. Once you start seeing the world as a stage, and that's all it is, everything starts to make more sense, and then you start taking over more of a director's role, and you start calling your own presents. Because, listen, I know me. If I'm going to play a game, I'm going to present a lot of cool stuff, but there's always two paths you can take, and if you walk in the truth path, you will find that which was present to you. Yes, it will be harder at first, but if you're going to play cards, I mean, let's go analogy here. If you're going to play cards and you want to win the whole pot, well, you better be willing to put something on the table. Because I'll tell you, if you're standing back watching the game, don't expect to dip into the kitty. It ain't yours. That's what coattailers do, by the way. So there you go. So what do you think of that concept?
Well, that's the point, isn't it? You've got to put someone out there to affect the change. It's like trying to break a window without throwing the brick. It's not going to happen, is it?
Nope, not going to happen. What you're saying, Kate, reminds me of a movie that it took me a long time to see, but it makes me think of Inception, how they were going back into the dreams.
Yep.
And we're in a dream, and we just need to find the clues we've left for ourselves. So what you're saying is so synchronistic. I just had to say it.
Well, again, that's it. Sin, synchronicity, right? Or synchristic. This is the word I was looking to find. So we have sin, which is the moon goddess, the emotional feminine, yeah? The Christ is the male sun aspect. And I see, which is I with the dot of creation, and C is the open note of love. So, of course, we have to be synchristic. We have to put everything into balance. Works for me. The words are pretty self-evident. I look at stuff and laugh all the time now. So it's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that I wanted to bring up, since you were on the movies topic and what you're finding in them, have you looked into some of the Japanese anime movies?
I have, but yeah, I see where you're going. That's actually a good angle. Absolutely.
I like most of the movies that we have here. I haven't gotten to view them all, but the majority of what I have seen so far is no matter what the movie, what the story, if there's a bad guy, the bad guy goes about the movie and does his thing, but towards the end, no matter what happens, the bad guy usually realizes what he's done wrong and comes back and makes amends with everybody that he's wronged, and then he gets to join the boat and party with everybody. It's hasn't been exactly the same for all of the movies that I've seen so far, but I know in Howl's Moving Castle, let's see, I'm drawing a blank, but there's quite a few of them where that did click with me. So the same type of ending every time. It's not just a happy party and a happy ending for everyone. Usually the opposing force realizes what they've done wrong, and then they come back and join the fun.
Yeah, and that is definitely not a theme that you're going to find much in North American Hollywood movies.
No.
So and therein lies the biggest issue that people are going to have with moving forward. They cannot even look in their own mirror. I've done nothing wrong. Oh, I am perfect. Oh my God, I'm a victim. How dare you say something like that to me? And I'm just going to say, shut up. You should spend some time in the mirror, and maybe actually at some point get thoroughly disgusted with yourself, and maybe question your motives as to why you're angry at this and angry at that and all the rest of it. And one of the things that has always been prevailing with me is the fact that I find that the things that I do, like even doing these shows, in the truest sense, that's why I bring up the free will choice thing, can be harming people if they're not getting the concepts, or if they're taking what I'm saying verbatim without thinking for themselves, at which point I'm trespassing on their free will choice to have an experience. And that's why I like to pre-qualify the shows with, if you're here, well, you're here of your own free will choice for the first time. If you come back, that's your true will choice, and I'm absolved of it. I'm only going to share what is my experience, what has happened to me. It's got no relevance in the 100% sense with anybody else. Yeah, there are correlations and shared concepts and what have you, but my experience is mine, your experience is yours. And ne'er the two shall become the same. You might share common threads, but that's, we've talked about this whole thing about weaving with others instead of, pulling things so tight that nothing gets done. And, you end up with, anger, hate, and all the rest of it. It's one of the reasons why I choose to walk away in situations that are I just haven't got time for it. If people around me want to have tornadoes and drama and all that, so that's fine. Don't expect me to play though. That's just where I am. I will, share and talk with people all the time. Anyone that's willing. And I'm not the easiest one to be around because I'm going to call out bullshit if I see it. Because I call it out on myself first. So if you think that because I can't, I'm going to let you off the hook because I won't let me off the hook. You saw it coming. Because guess what? We're all one. And I don't want to be guilty of any of my perspectives being you, me, or anyone else for that matter. So it's about self-accountability. That's all it really boils down to. Just my thought, anyway. What the hell do I know?
I don't think you know anything, Kate. You just don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you. I can have that.
Stop talking. Don't write anything else, and don't do any more shows.
Yeah, just shut up, Kate. Shut up. And I got to tell you.
No more videos for you, Santos. Yeah, you just don't know what you're talking about, man. You just need to quit doing that, okay?
Yeah, stop astrology. That's from the devil. No more theology. Let's let the pedophile priest teach us. Let's not listen to Santos. He's egotistical. The priests are better. Oh, let's go to the priest and learn about Jehovah. Bend over, please, little boys.
Oh, gosh.
That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing.
That is all they're doing.
And we have people of the lower mind inserting themselves into the truth movement, pretenders, no research, no nothing, ready to diss the ones that have the research that will bring the system down. We speak with urgency in our voices because we know how many times we've been killed and murdered in past lives for trying to get the truth out, and we didn't have the platform. Now we have, and there is urgency. There's absolute urgency. And to see these morons like Dallas Goldbug go out and publish stupidity, outright lies and blasphemy. I mean, how ridiculous is that? This goes to show that these vicious entities would prefer to be sodomized by the system than have the truth that we are disseminating. That's what it does. That's proof of it. If they can allow people's personalities and their egos to stop them and then to cause them to diss those people, then that goes to show that they're not true players, and they are of the lower mind, and they just don't get it. They do not get it. Like you said before, Kate, with the movies, they tell you, they present to you, but guess how many people are seeing with their eyes to see and their ears to hear? Not many. A lot of people see those movies.
About a dozen that I know of right offhand.
It goes right over the top of their heads. And the same is happening with what we are sharing, Kate. A lot of pretenders just don't get it. They think they do, and they think they understand where we're coming from. They think they've got it, but their actions prove that they simply don't. They still have not gotten the world out of their system. They still love the world. They're still intoxicated with commerce, and they still want the best iPod and the best car, and they still want prestige and glory and to look good and keep up with the Joneses. They are still buying into the material illusion. Simple as that. I know that there is not a particle of matter on this earth that has got me bound to it, and I know where I'm going. I'm heaven bound. Maybe I may not ascend this time round because I'm not good enough. I don't know. I don't know how good you've got to be. I know that I am bettering myself every day. That's all. How good I've got to be to ascend, I will find out one day because I'm on that path. If I don't get it this time, that's all right. I'm immortal. I've got plenty of time to adjust. But one thing is for sure. I keep improving myself by the day because there is nothing in this world that will ever pull me back to it. I'm finished with the fictions. Absolutely finished. It's all over. There's no lust. There's no games for me to play. There's no jealousy for me to get involved with someone else on this planet. I'm not jealous of anybody. I don't care what anybody else has or possesses. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. That's where my heart is directed. My eyes are always heavenward. I'm always looking at the stars because that's where I want to be. I don't want to be the star of any show down here at all. In fact, I've always walked around from great musical contracts, to have, a label promoting my stuff and making me famous and all of that crap. I've never even paid that any mind in my career. I'm just not interested. And then people say, oh, why do you do street performing? Because that's the best way you can make a living and not have to go through all that crap of the institutions. And you've done the same thing, Kate. You've declined musical career offers and things like that. Last year, someone that was a friend of mine on Facebook, his name's Declan. I've exposed him on a radio show because he attacked me viciously in a lot of Facebook pages. But he said, oh, Santos, in 2001 you played for Bill Gates. You were the opening act at Las Vegas, the then Comdex. That was the IT expo in Las Vegas, and Bill Gates used to do the opening keynote address. And so I opened 45-minute opening set, and then Bill Gates comes on 10 minutes later, and whoopie-doo, that went all around the world because we made history. There was something else that happened that evening which I won't go into, but we made history that night with that gig. Anyway, this is 12 years ago, man. It was 2001 that I played for Bill Gates, and this guy comes at me and he says, oh, all right, well then you must be a friend of Bill Gates, and how can you be teaching these astrological and astrotheological things? You obviously are a part of the New World Order because you played for Bill Gates. Man, what great detective this guy is.
Wow. Hey. That's sounds
funny,
very idiotic. It is funny. It is funny, but I don't understand why people knock you for doing street music, Santa. It's one of the most beautiful things to walk, especially where I live. There are street musicians everywhere you go. In Los Angeles County, I live in Ventura County, and it doesn't matter if you're walking down the beach, if you are at a shopping center, there is somebody playing some type of an instrument somewhere. And the majority of those that I've come across are very talented, and just you'll stop and just listen, and it really brings. I would rather hear a street musician playing while I'm walking anywhere than walk into a store and listen to the crap that they're playing over the radio. That's played in a lower vibration and meant to just damage your body.
Yeah, look, Cyndi, I can tell you a string of glorious gigs that I've done, that I've been, just picked up from my street performances to do gigs all around the world, including playing for Vijay Mallya in India, in Bombay, for the Louis Vuitton 150th birthday in 2004. And gigs like that, I mean, in Australia, all over Australia, just glorious, glorious gigs. Why? Yeah. Because, well, I'm not just a person who chooses to do street performances because I'm not good enough to do the gigs. But I never talk about the glorious gigs that I have. In fact, when I came back from America in 2001, I virtually said nothing and did no press or nothing about that gig because I didn't want a bar of it. And then to be attacked 10 years later, I mean, right now, where I stand, I would never play for someone like Bill Gates. I mean, a killer eugenist thug who deliberately put viruses in his computer so then he could do business with his mates on the side to make virus protection when we don't in fact need any virus protection. We can just have computers like Apple that protect themselves against viruses. I mean, Bill Gates is a perfect animalistic mafia criminal, and I would never even touch him. I would never even consider. He invited me to play for him when I was a Jehovah's Witness and when I was blind to the system of control. I had no idea. So, how can I be guilty now for that? I mean, it's ridiculous. And this is the sort of stuff that you get weak-minded people who are operating from the lowest platforms of consciousness. This is why, folks, in my presentations I teach you how to think. No, it's not me teaching. Take that back. The information and the research that I have uncovered teaches you how to think, not what to think. The what
exactly.
to think types.
I think you're teaching, and since the day I watched your first video, and I've been following your work since the first video that you put out on YouTube, you compile so much information together and present this information, deliver it to the people that you are speaking in front of and in the world through YouTube. And what it did to me, it enticed me to learn. It enticed me to erase my hard drive and reformat my brain, and then go out and do my own seeking and finding and reading and watching, and it just it basically, I've been in college for 2 years, and it's a result of watching your videos. I believe you're going to be doing a show with another good friend of mine, Scott Onstott, who does The Secrets in Plain Sight, and between the two of you and Bill Donahue, it is just, that's the effect I get. You encourage, you entice people to do their own, and you even say this in your videos, don't believe what I say. Here's the books. Here's where I found all this. Do your own research and make your own conclusions. So, go ahead. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, and that's perfect, because you're coming from the right platform, Cyndi, and you will be the one that will bless yourself for understanding that and knowing that. Unfortunately, some people do not have the mental intellect to grasp this, and they will always be losers, always, because they will always attack something that is good and pure. It's like an immune system that is that attacks the good along with the bad, or it's like antibiotics that destroy good with the bad, or chemotherapy, etc. All of these false remedies. What we are providing is true remedies. If you can learn how to think for yourself, that is the best gift that you can receive from anybody's research. And that is what the holy science does. That is what the holy science. Finally, the holy science is back on this planet. It's back for good. For good. And the churches are running away. Notice that there's no authorities out there that have anything to say to debunk my... Where's that Chris White, the moron, who reckons he's debunked Zeitgeist? Where's that idiot? You don't see him attacking Santos Bonacci. Why? Because of the evidence. Because of the evidence. You can't refute that evidence. And now when you see that graph and when you see how nature works and when you see how astrotheology truly works and you see that all churches come from that natural sine wave, how's Chris White going to refute that? I mean, he picks on soft targets like Acharya S, Jordan Maxwell, and I call them soft targets. Those guys have done more research than me. Acharya S is a fountain of wisdom. Jordan Maxwell is a fountain of truth and wisdom, and so is the Zeitgeist, Peter Joseph and his product there. These guys run rings around all of these naysayers and so-called debunkers. This Chris White moron, where is he? He owes me $30,000, by the way, because he said, if anyone can prove that I'm wrong, I have proven that he is wrong beyond any doubt. He owes me $30,000. If anyone knows his email address, please write to him. Send him my videos with love. Teach him how to do some real study, because the guy's an idiot. How can you debunk Zeitgeist? How can you? It's impossible, and yet he thinks he's done it. And what he's done is the blind Pied Piper who is leading the blind to their own deaths, their own intellectual and spiritual deaths. That's what they are. Morons abound. They are bound on this planet, and we, as light bearers, need to expose them. It's simple. Otherwise, it will continue to be a mold in the air. And you've got to spray that mold.
They multiply so fast.
They perpetrate the mold that is in their brains, because their brains don't work and are deficient. That's all that they can do. They can just vomit that same stuff out. What comes out of your mouth is what's in your heart, as the Bible says. The wells of spiritual... it's a spiritual deep well, what is in your heart, and you can hear what's in people's hearts because it comes out of their mouths. You just have to listen to their mouths and read between the lines, and you'll see the pretenders. The pretenders have got nothing to speak for. They've got nothing to show, and they just talk. That's all they do. They just talk empty words that have no benefit for people at all. Let alone, I mean, they couldn't even make a 10-minute video of the stuff that I'm doing, and I've done 3-4 hour, 21 of them for free to mankind, and people all over the world, in Latin America, in Italy. I'm doing Spanish, I'm doing Italian shows. I'm getting letters from all over the world about people thanking me, saying, thank you for the liberating truth. I now see. I'm saving the oil. I'm taking the cell salts. I'm walking on dirt, drinking the urine, drinking distilled water, being blessed. My health is growing day by day by day. My eyes are opening by day. Thank you for the books that you recommend. I'm reading them all. I'm getting thousands and thousands of letters from real people that are on the right platform. And then you get these one or two morons who viciously attack. And why? Because they are jealous. Jealousy is a poison. Lose the jealousy, dudes. Lose it. It doesn't serve you. It's poisoning you. It's time that we all realize that we are one. If you don't like me, well, then you don't like yourself. Because I am you. Yeah, exactly. I'm your Aryan brother from down Oz who happened to take notice, did a little bit of research, and published that research for your benefit. Not for mine, for your benefit. Lose the jealousy, folks. It does not serve you. It serves Shaitan, the resistor, who will prevent you from coming to the light. And light is all there is, folks. We are light. Yes, there's darkness in us too, because we live in a dualistic world, but as we come to the light, we will lose the darkness. And we're doing it. And we are achieving and we are winning. and we will win, and we will stand on Mount Zion with the Lamb and the 144,000 and all our chakras opened, and we will win. Take courage, said Jesus, for I have conquered the world. And we will too. We will conquer the world of jealousy and stupidity and all of these vices that are keeping our pretender brothers in darkness, like Renouf and all the other ones that I mentioned. Wakey, wakey times. You are our brothers.
Hey, I made it back. I got to tell you guys, you know what's really weird is unbelievable. Like, now I don't even, it's showing that I don't have you in my contacts. Terry, Santo, who else? Tony, Cyndi.
It's what? It's saying you don't have us?
Yeah, it's okay. There's just something really messed up with my computer right now.
Okay, then you need to get with Terry. Because, well, and I spoke with a gentleman from Australia. He's in the group, Tim. He was telling me how that there was a string of thousands of viruses set loose, I believe, on the 21st or there around that time. I think his office got attacked. I got attacked. Terry's son helped me a great deal. So.
Oh yeah, George is a good kid. And I'm just again, it's telling me I have to sign in and out again, but don't worry about it. I've got we carry on here. It's all good. Anyway, you got me on the air, so I'm good. Yeah, I got zapped. I looked at my computer the wrong way, and everything. You know, it does that on occasion. Anyway, it's no big deal. But anyway, Santo, carry on. That was great.
Yeah. Look, and for all the people who are on the correct platform, I know there's a lot of listeners because we get feedback and emails, and we know that we've got a really, really good listening audience that will take us to the next level. They absolutely will, and you know, please, people, be diligent in exposing the lies and the truth, because this is a chance. We've got a chance. We really, really do have a chance, and we're on it, and we will succeed. I have no doubt. We have won this war. We have won it because we've arrived. Here we are talking like this. Why are we talking like this? Why are we talking about the subject light? Why are we looking for remedies? Kate, why did you sit down with your group and come up with this document? What for? Well, because we know that we've arrived, and we have saved ourselves. So come what may, they can come with their tasers and zap us and kill us. They can do whatever they want with these bodies, you know, because they think they can. That doesn't matter. We know we are immortal. We know we have arrived. We may not have all the bits of the jigsaw puzzle yet. There's no one that does.
Yeah, but we're untouchable at this point, you know, and that's the one thing that people have to get. When you get to a certain level of understanding and the free will choice and the complete desire to stand in truth and not trespass upon that, that's the game changer. When you finally find that, and you're not dealing with drama tornadoes and all the rest of the crap, you want to play in those games, well, you're a target because you're trespassing the shit over everybody. And until you step out of that tornado, you can get engulfed by it, but there is a point, and I know that we're past it, that you're an untouchable, that they cannot interfere with you because you are standing in free will choice of your own and of all others. So my free will choice is to be in peace, truth, love, and honor. Go ahead, trespass that if you will. Good luck. Ain't going to happen. Sorry. No, I have no fear. Not any longer. That's there's the invisible wizard is watching. Once you get the concept, once you really get that concept, the empowerment that it has, once you see the matrix unfolding, and this is what I'm trying to share with this whole notion of we're not in the present, we are in the past moment of now created by the present from the future to the past creating the now. And when you get there, you're fine. And that's the one thing they can't time jump you anymore. They can't do shit to you anymore because you're awake. So wake up, William. Wake up.
Wake up. Sprinkle fairy dust on
But I
everybody.
don't want to. Wake up, William. Wake up, you silly git.
Yeah, that's it.
No, just saying, you know. Yeah, and I gotta say, Tony, that movie, yeah, it was Victoria that passed it around. Cabin in the Woods. When you just listen to it, and again, listen to the numbers. Oh, I was watching something on, what was it to do with? Something about Louisiana, that 6 million pounds of explosives, whatever. And I'm looking at the time, I'm listening to the numbers that this cop is saying, and oh my God, could you make it more obvious?
Wait, no, wait, what is this? What is
well,
this?
Louisiana, they were talking about, what was that place where the True Blood movie was shot, the vampire movie?
That's, oh gosh, I have never watched that show, but, I know some of it's filmed in St. Francisville. It's filmed actually in several locations all around Louisiana, but I can't think of which parish they do the majority of it in because I really have never focused on the show. But yeah.
It began with DA, like Dunville or something.
Donaldsonville.
Okay, something like that. Anyway, and listening to the guy's numbers, I've been in the police for 33 years. Really?
33 years. Imagine that.
When I looked at the time, it totaled 7. Like, oh guys, please. Like, come on. It's getting a little too obvious. But this is what I'm trying to get people to look at and listen to. Listen for things that are repeated 3 times. Listen for the magic Masonic numbers and the spells that they're still trying to cast that are being broken every day. Santi, you said it perfectly. Every day you're learning more and more. I would challenge you to say that every minute you're learning more and more. New revelations hit all the time.
Every minute, it's growing exponentially. I never ever dreamed that I would have such clarity about scriptures and cosmology and sacred geometry and syncretism, astrology. I never dreamed it. Never in my life. But because I opened my heart and my mind to allow the truth to pour in, we can do this. We can do it. We can escape mind control. We can escape the lower nature. We have to. There is no choice. There is no choice. And when you do, then you allow yourself to see things the way they really are and nature the way it really is. And then you can look up like I did and you can see the name Jehovah in the heavens. Like I did, because I've been watching the stars for long enough, but all my life. And by the way, I released the article, Cyndi, you know very well, about the name Jehovah or Shiva written in the fixed signs of the zodiac. Yeah. And some of the contacts, so there was a certain Ralph Whittakin who claims to be my teacher. He claims to be, Santos got that off me. What a crock. What a crock. The jealousy, man. This guy is absolutely obsessed with jealousy. Ralph Whittakin is his name. And he was dissing all the people who were making positive comments about my article. This article, I hope it goes viral. People, look up, have a look at Scorpio. It is in the shape of a J or an S. Jehovah, Shiva. Then have a look at Aquarius. It's an H or an I. Then look at Taurus, it's a V, clearly. Then look at Leo, turn it around to its side, you'll see it's an H. That's the Tetragrammaton. J-H-V-H, or Shiva. It's in the skies, folks. All you got to do is look up. Everything, every single thing comes from that clock in the sky. It goes around, it has 12 segments. It has 7 luminaries that go through it. And those 7 are the active forces that manifest all physical things in this solar system. Without those 7, you wouldn't be you in this solar system. And without the 12 spaces of the dodecahedron universe that we live in, those 7 would never be able to perform their work of perfecting us and returning us to our unconditioned consciousness. And so, this is the science of salvation. This is the true theology. When you open your eyes, you can see it. And you will see it, and you have to see it. It's the only way to return back to the highest faculties of your intellect. And that's what salvation is all about. Saving your intellect, your mind, so to speak, and soul and emotions. Save them from the wreck of down in hell where we have been. Confusion, division, separation, mind control, etc. These things can be done away with quite easily if we have a community of people that see things from the highest platforms as we do. We see through the bullshit. We see through the lies. The bar and the courts are a lying, deceitful, satanic, dark system. We've exposed them. They're exposed. It's over. Yeah. The churches are also a dark, dark place of pedophilia and money-making and mind control and keeping people in moron status so that they do not ascend. I've exposed them. We have exposed them. They're finished. It's over. And once this community grows, which it will, then we will have our light. We will have our garden, our paradise, and we will reinstate Eden on this globe. It will come to pass. It has to. It's loving.
It's present. And so you mentioned something. We were talking about tarot cards the other night, and in my particular tarot deck, which of course is for me very, very relevant, it's the Arthurian tarot, and the first card of the major arcana is 0, the Fool, and the Fool is Percival. And when I was watching that movie that Tony and Victoria had been sending around, it's a cool link. I'll make sure it's in the room. You guys should watch it. But the one character that was considered the fool was the guy that was, smoking cannabis, which rendered him untouchable. You have to watch this movie. The truth is like thick and coming at you hardcore. So here's the Fool, which is the one who can pierce the veil, the Percival. And I mean, it all came together in that one blinding moment of pure light and truth. Once you start seeing how to peel the layers off, they fall off all by themselves. It's like everything out there is a flaky pastry, and it just falls down to the fruit. It's beautiful. But again, it's all there if you can see it, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, and that's exactly what you're talking about. And listening to you and Cyndi like last night, and when we were talking about this the other night with the Tetragrammaton in the heavens. Here I am looking up. I couldn't see the actual stars at night, but I certainly, on Christmas Eve, I certainly saw Jupiter and the moon making out. That was beautiful. The energy was incredible.
Oh, I got some amazing photos of that last night. And
Sorry, Cyndi, sorry.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. No, you go.
I took some beautiful pictures of Jupiter and the moon last night, and something that I've been trying to capture for a long time is the fact that they've been spraying us nonstop all day, all night, and there's been several times where I thought I had captured the chemtrail in the dark, but I didn't. But last night they shot them right across the moon. So the moon behind this big old chemtrail, and it just came out. It's actually quite beautiful, even though I'm not too happy about the fact that they're doing this. But I finally caught the night shots, and the night before went right after we got off the air, Santo, and you you had sent me the stuff to compile the note on the Tetragrammaton and the constellation pictures and everything. So I walked outside and I looked up and I went and got my camera, but the ring didn't come out. But Jupiter and the moon, and there was a huge ring around the both of them. So it was really magical looking.
Well, I filmed it, and I'll post it about a minute, where you see the moon and Jupiter, and then Aldebaran, the eye of the bull of Taurus, made a perfect little triangle in the sky. There they were, all together. They made this nice little, almost an equilateral triangle sitting in the sky. You see the red eye of the bull, you see Jupiter, and you see the moon all together like that. That's very rare. So behind the moon, you would have seen the V of the Hyades, which is Taurus, and that stands for that's victory, that's conquest. You see Taurus, the bull, power. It stands for power. Opposite that is the J of Scorpio, for justice, for Judas Iscariot, and this is in our skies, and it's been there forever, and so I just brought that out in an article, and immediately had some great feedback. Of course, we had that negative feedback back by Ralph, who was dissing everybody and calling them blockheads and everything like that. So we blocked him, and so I blocked him, and because how dare people just disparage other people willy-nilly like that for no reason at all. Now, this is my point that I was making. If you're so smart, whoever you are, that knew this and taught me this, why didn't you publish it? Why didn't you publish the article that the Tetragrammaton is in the sky? Ralph, Mr. Jealous Boy. And by the way, this is for Matt and Robert Otey and Walter Russell. This is for you guys because I love you so much. Ralph Whittakin believes that I'm wasting my time with Robert Otey and Matt Presti and Walter Russell. Some of his theories are okay, but they're all old now. Ralph is a believer in quantum physics and the flat nuclear atom and all that bullshit. So that just goes to show where he's at. But there you go, Matt and Robert. That's for you guys. You've really done some wonderful things on this show, and you've really helped us with your wisdom, and I thank you. And from the Walter Russell, who is our brother in the heavens, thank you for the light that you've shone upon us, and thank you for the great teachings. And one of the greatest teachings that he gave to mankind that our jealous brother Ralph just cannot stand is this. This is the beautiful, and I've read this twice on Blog Talk in the last 2 weeks, but I'm going to do it again, if you don't mind, folks, please.
Anytime.
Not
Friends.
at all.
Yeah. I just want to bring the energy down a little bit. Is one of the things that we can run into, and I'm going to keep bringing it up until there are people out there trying to antagonize and upset and dishevel and disinfo us and everything else, but we can't come at it with idiots and bumbling fools and all the rest of it. We just point it out for what it is, and and we move on. So if we can, I would. That's my request for people to not disparage, and I'm working my damnedest not to have Katie potty mouth anymore because it doesn't do anyone any good. And something I wanted to share as well with the chat room, guys. You can take whatever you want, moringa, you name it, cannabis, and all the rest of it. But you are not doing your body any good if you are pissing it away. You see, the body has the as within ability to heal itself. And you can ingest all this stuff, and you can walk around thinking that essential oils are great and this and that and the other and play house and all the rest of it. But I got to tell you something, until you are looping that within your body to balance it to your own body, you're in therapy, you're pissing your life away. So that's just what I'm going to suggest to people. Stop looking outside of yourself for solutions. Stop looking outside of yourself for healing. Yes, there are things we can ingest, the biosalts and the cannabis and the cannabinoids, but they are being pissed away, literally, if you're not re-looping it. And your intensity, this is how nature works. Think of when you're reducing, say, salvia divinorum 40 times. Like it's reduced and then it's reduced again, and it gets purer and purer and purer. Same with cannabinoid oils. The more you keep recirculating it and refining it and reducing it, the more potent and stronger it gets. And that's what your kidneys are. They are your inbuilt, as within distilleries. And they will purify you. So, again, I mean, I see it all the time. Constant remedies. Well, you got to eat this and you got to drink this and you can do whatever you want, guys. But if you're just going to piss it away, you're just wasting it. So I'm only speaking from experience here. You want to crack open your pineal? It'll only take you about 3 days. Loop your wee. Done. Where do you think that document came from? Is it a good document?
Yeah, it's a beautiful document. Sorry, I was
yeah.
having an allergy attack. But yes, that document came from a download, did it not?
Sure it did. It came from a wide open pineal, and I was seeing things that I've never been able to see before. And this is like I'm a couple of months into urine therapy, and it's like I wish I could tell people what I see. It's beautiful, and the fear leaves. So I'm tired of people in the drama, and I'm tired of looking at well, you got to get this and buy this and do that, and then you got to keep doing that and buying this and buying that. Bullshit. What you need to do is get it into your body and then recycle it.
And again, guys, same old story. There are people out on the internet talking down urine therapy, and supposed experts. And I receive letters, again, from concerned people about urine therapy where certain gurus are getting out there talking about the fact that it contains cellular waste and it is, in fact, bad for you. This is the sort of thing that we need to expose, because these are wannabe tryhards that haven't done their research, think they know what they're talking about, but actually don't. Urine therapy has been something that the ancients practiced for perfect health. So there's enough history to prove that it was known and still is known to cure. And I forget who the gurus are that are getting around dissing urine therapy, but probably we shouldn't even mention their names, because they're just shameful and hurting themselves, blind leading the blind, really.
Yeah, those who will not ever be named, and that's it. I mean, I'm done with making people infamous or famous based on their attacks on others, because they're missing the point, and all we're trying to do is help. And we are so far away from that whole hate, anger nonsense, and I'm not indulging in it, and I got to say I'm not going to tolerate any indulgences into that realm anymore. It's just pure drama. When people talk to me about I get messages or whatever about not feeling well, whatever, drink your weed. Well, shut up, don't ask. I told you how to solve yourself. You can't figure it out, then go away. Bye. People ask you for an answer, and then you give them one, and then they're like argument. Well, then why'd you ask? Great big cup of shut up, right? So move on. And there's the answer. It's right there. It is so perfect. Of course, it had to be within. Of course it had to be colored gold. Of course it had to be able to decalcify everything. And here's the thing, someone's posting about toxins or whatever. The toxins are filtered out and routed to the intestines to get rid of it that way. That you're drinking pure distilled with stem cells. That's the cells that you're talking about, the waste cells. Stem cells, the builders of life. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. So anyway, just my 2 cents.
Well, here's a gem from Walter Russell. Here we go. As greater awareness of light of the universal self comes to man, he gradually loses his individuality and becomes more that universal self. When mankind has become fully aware of God in him, the play of man on this planet is finished, his purpose fulfilled, and the individual man ceases to be. Man loses his expression of life in matter to find eternal life in the light. There is no death. That is one worth sharing and repeating daily. So this is what I was saying before about losing the world in you. If you haven't done that completely and there's still a little desire to have a little bit of this or a little bit of that, still want to participate in the 3D illusions, you will never ever see the truth as it should be seen. You will never have the epiphanies, you will never contact the Akashic records, and you will never know the things that you need to know for saving the intellect out of mind control. You will always be under mind control. And it's time to now elevate ourselves and to the highest platforms possible. And we are achieving this. And now that the sun is climbing to the 21st of March, as we go through Lent, and the days are lengthening, every day now the sun lengthens its rays. And as we get to that point 3 months down the track, we are going to be increasing in our consciousness. Take advantage of this beautiful, beautiful energy. And there's a beautiful trine with Mars and Jupiter right now. And remember the song that when Mars and Jupiter align, then the age of Aquarius will be upon us. Well, they've aligned. And Mars is giving his energy last night to Jupiter. He was supporting him in a beautiful trine, 120 degrees. Mars was throwing that fiery energy at him. And so this is a beautiful alignment. And we need to take advantage of it, because it's if you make hay while the sun shines, you will get the benefits. If you're off going down to the football and to the races and keeping up with the Joneses, you will miss out. Absolutely, you'll miss out. You have to pay attention from now on.
Yeah, and exactly, Santos. Here's the thing. And it's not like we're saying you can't be a part of the game and everything has to be boring and that. What it boils down to, guys, is not, we're here in a role to play the role, not be the role. And they've got everyone convinced that they are who that you were told that you are, starting with a name, etc. You are a character, okay, in a movie. This is all this is. It's a holographic universe here, guys. And it feels so real. It's like, have you ever sat and watched a movie and got so into it, and then you jump back because you're scared? It's on a fucking screen. But you react to it. And what's happened here is we have become so engrossed in this movie that we think it's real. There's nothing wrong with playing. Just, it's like, use the tool, don't be one. Apparently it's cool to be ignorant. I'm tired of being cool. I'd rather be a little outside the box. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and that's the only thing we're attacking today, Kate. It's that cool to be ignorant attitude. It's no longer cool. It's no longer cool to pull down and attack people who are endeavouring with all the last drop of blood in their bodies to bring down the fictional system, like your Kevin Annetts, etc. These are people who are devoting their lives, because what else would you devote your life to? We don't have any more of the world in us. We don't have any more. There's no more temptations from the world that can allure us and entice us anymore. The showy displays of the world. In fact, let me read one of the beautiful scriptures I used to go door knocking as a Jehovah's Witness and share with people. Of course, had no idea that it was applying to me at the time, because I was in a materialistic religion, the Jehovah's Witnesses. Pure materialism. Pure materialism. But he says, 1 Timothy, let's have a look, where are we? 2 Timothy. For we have brought nothing into the world, and neither can we carry anything out. So having sustenance and covering, we shall be content with these things. 1 Timothy 6, 7 and 8. Interesting, isn't it? We bring nothing into the world, neither can we carry anything out. You're not going to carry your house.
No, you can't, but I'll tell you what you will carry out. Your good deeds or your bad. And those are the things that you're going to carry with you in your perspective, playing the roles continuously. In a loop, if you want to keep playing the same meat stick game over and over, quite frankly, getting, murdered and all the rest. It's getting a bit old with me, you know. So it's time to take it up a notch. You know, instead of being one of the extras and one of the, you know, one of the stand-ins, or better yet, one of the stunt people that ends up getting wiped. You never get your name in the marquee on that one, but you certainly get blood all over the screen. You know, it's time to move up into a speaking role, and eventually maybe work up into a co-starring role to the point where you're going to star in your own show. Are you not a star? If you're not a star, then say so. Tell yourself in the mirror you're not a star, that you're a meat stick, and you're happy playing in the quagmire of the bullshit.
I think you've dropped off.
Oh, not again.
I can hear.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, okay. You know, so...
Hey, guys.
Yeah, you can be an extra.
Everyone there?
Yeah, we're here. You're there. I can hear you. Uh-oh, can Santos not hear us? Might be something up with his speakers or headset. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, though. You can choose to be a part of the game and play in it, or at complete effect to it. I'm choosing to be cause over it, and I've decided to be the star of my own show, just like you need to be the star of your own show. You are a star, a son and a star, which is male and female equally, per se, for himself, herself, itself. Pretty straightforward.
Yes. I like that. Kick it up a notch. Made me think of Emeril Lagasse from New Orleans, the chef, the famous chef on TV. Kick it up a notch. Yeah. Hello?
Sorry, sometimes the mute doesn't work, and I'm kind of relying on other people sometimes to talk too, because I don't want to be the only one talking all the time, because I get tired of hearing my own damn voice. Remember, I'm starring in my show.
It turns out Santos, what's actually happened is Santos' speakers have gone down, so he can't hear that he's still in the conversation. So I was typing away trying to answer.
Yeah, so it's Pots banging in the background, guys. Sorry about that.
Good, Kate. You don't talk too much. We love listening to you for sure. But thank you for thank you for dropping off.
That's okay. You know, it's everyone has a say in the show, and what I'm trying. I think the biggest frustration I have is I honestly, and this is a Gemini talking, I really get sick and tired of just hearing myself talking. Because I am learning, but not at the level I like to by listening. You know, that's why, you know, people need to be involved. You want to sit back and have people paint your canvas for you, go ahead. But I dare you to be a star. From this point on, I dare you to be a star. Stop being an extra. Stop being one of those, stop being the Star Trek character in the odd-colored uniform that you know is going to get offed. Try to be one of the crew, you know?
This is the point. Everybody's got the ability to do something, you know, no matter what it is. I mean, you know, nobody out there can turn around and say, oh, there's nothing I can do. And if you believe that, you shouldn't be listening to this show. But anyway, you know, you can print up some stickers and stick stickers on, you know, post boxes and stuff. You know, you can always do something. Go out and talk to people, make a point of talking to one person every day. You know, all sorts of things you can do. But it's making a difference, and you know, hopefully, the bigger difference you can actually make, the better, and it's that simple. But I mean, it's one thing coming out in public and coming out with this information that takes a bit more. But the point is, you know, you can do something within the privacy of your own, you know, area. You know, you can go out anonymously putting stickers up in places. You know.
Yeah. Boxing signatures on cash is, again, regardless of what you think it does, it's irrelevant. It is the intent that you are wanting something changed. I'm only after the intent, guys. Just like the system, they cannot do anything to you without proving intent. So change your intent. Instead of going along with the bullshit, change it. And I don't care. You could just take a marker and write debt note on a $20 bill. Just do that, because what you're doing is you're changing your paradigm within. It doesn't matter what you're doing without. It is the change within that I'm trying to show people. You know, just do something, anything that makes you say, I'm me. And I'm as important as everyone else. Of course you are. You're part of Creator. You are Creator. How dare anyone think that they're less important than something or someone else? You know, and that's what they've been doing to us for so long, and we bought into it. It was cool to be stupid. It was cool to be ignorant. It was cool to go out in battlefields and slaughter each other. And they had us so entrained. And all I'm trying to do is offer simple little solutions. Dare to put on 2 different colored socks tomorrow. Dare to be different.
I got 2 different colored socks on right now.
You know? So, you know, hey, listen, you want to talk about outside the box? You know, I dress a whole lot differently than I did a few years ago. You know? Okay, I did a little more and changed the color of my socks, guys. You know, but that was me trying to show everyone who I really am. And that's the only difference. I dared to be me. And it scared the shit out of me for a lifetime. And you guys have got it easy. So just do it. I don't care. What do something. Dare to put ketchup on your cornflakes. I don't give a shit what you do. Do something different. Absolutely. Bless yourself. You know, oh my me or oh my God. Say it either way. It works. You know, Bill Hicks said it so beautifully. You know, God's up there looking out. Oh my me. You know.
Oh my me. I like that. OMGs with plural. Oh my gods. Yes.
Exactly, and really, what it boils down to is the inner choice within. Everything you need is within you. Everything you need to heal yourself is within. Everything you need to teach yourself is within you. Our consciousness. Close your eyes if you need to see it, because when you close your eyes and close everything off from the exterior world, you are in creator mode, and your thoughts are powerful. It's like, you know, I'm talking with people and they're willy-nilly saying this, that, and the other. And you know, okay, empath. I feel the power of someone's intent, and they don't even know they're intending it. And I tell them to shut up right quick, you know, and to stop wishing things upon people, because it's going to come back and haunt you. And that was the one big lesson in this movie that Tony, you probably having seen it, you can get this concept in that at the end of the movie, all these people that were serving the director. And of course, it was all to do with human sacrifice to keep the Titans happy, so they don't escape, right?
Yeah.
But what happened at the end there was it was proven with the one guy. He said, you know, when I think one of the fell in the water, the girl that was in the water, he wanted her to be eaten by a merman, and then he finds himself at the end of the movie when all these different things that they use to sacrifice humans are set free, and what ends up killing him? A merman. So what it's trying to show you is that which you sow, so shall you reap. The system is coming down on itself. It will destroy itself. We do not have to do a damn thing, because evil, by definition, will destroy itself. What we need to do is stand in our own truth. We need to decide to put on different color socks tomorrow. We need to decide to write an X through a stamp and write void on it and throw it back in the mailbox, and get to the point where everything that you're sending back through the mailbox, the postman is carrying around 500 pounds of letters, and they're going to give up.
Yep, totally. This is the point, and we need to shine light on those things that are broken and need fixing, so that we can be aware that they need fixing. Exactly.
And yes, your name is I am. That's French. Je suis. Or take the I out and you have Jesus.
Beautiful.
All right. So that is the I am. The layers are so many if you can just see them. It takes nothing, really, of effort once you decide to open your middle eye. The third eye. It's so, we look at the band. Everyone is third eye blind, and they're trying. You've pre-sent this information. Will you please watch what we've done for ourselves? It's beautiful, and it unfolds before you. Oh, and by the way, Victoria gave me a flashlight a while back. Guess what it is, Cyndi?
What is it?
It's a pig.
Oh my gosh! I got a pig in the mail today from Japan.
Isn't that funny? And what were we talking about last night?
What we were talking about last night. And then the link that you showed me, I watched it, and I could see very clearly the pig in the mass of land I'm guessing would be the west or northwest of the target area in the video where they were showing the tanks when they pan back on Google Earth, I could see it plain as day, like a pig on a platter.
Yeah. It was an angry pig, too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And there's the expression, in a pig's eye. Indeed, in a pig's eye. But do you want to, we got like 27 minutes here. You want to take a few minutes and explain to people how the United States is a pig?
Let me get a map pulled up here, and I haven't gotten to talk to my friend yet, but I think I can still do a good enough job to give everyone a visual of it. I need to speak with this guy and really get the guts of it, no pun intended.
Traveling through the belly of the beast.
The belly of the beast, yes. If you pull up a map of the United States, anyone who's listening, you're probably sitting on your computers, just Google United States or go to Google Maps and pull up the United States. And if you're in the United States, all you have to do is click Maps on the Google, and it will bring you to it. And just back out of it and get a full shot of the entire country. And imagine that you are looking at a pig standing up, with the head being the upper north, the northeast section, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and the mouth being New York. And imagine the Big Apple, a pig with the apple in its mouth sitting on a platter. You come down the eastern seaboard, North Carolina being the brunt of the chest, and down into Florida, the tip of Florida being the hoof, the front hoof of the pig. Most people consider the heartland of the United States to be the Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, and Kansas area. But the fellow that was explaining this to me, and some people are aware of this, you're not going to find it on any maps, but I know it's there because I've been through there and I've seen the signs. But somewhere north of the Tennessee-Kentucky state line into Kentucky, towards the very eastern tip where Virginia, Tennessee, and Kentucky come together at that three-way point, there is a place known as the Devil's Gorge. If you Google the Devil's Gorge, you'll get another Devil's Gorge, but this particular Devil's Gorge is in Kentucky and would be the heart, I believe. And I lived 16 years in the Baton Rouge area, about 20 miles northwest of Baton Rouge across the Mississippi, but I was a quarter mile off of the Mississippi River in a little town called New Roads in Point Capee Parish. And I lived there for 16 years. I spent 16 years in very bad health because there was just nonstop illness. Every other house around me had a terminally ill child or adult. And I would look at the Mississippi River, and I would joke and in fun to my friends that we're living in the bowels of the country. You know, I would think of the Mississippi as bowels of the country because, crap falls downhill. But no, actually, after talking with my friend, I discovered that it is the umbilical cord of the pig, the umbilical cord of the country. And so Oklahoma, the midsection of the Midwest region, would be the womb of the pig. And I don't have specific locations, but they were pointed out to me around at one point in Texas. You will see on a particular, it's a road map, and you will see the testes and the ovaries, with the lower section of Texas below San Antonio being the genitals. Then you have I-10 running across the southern part of the country, and it runs from, I believe, Jacksonville. Jacksonville, Florida is where it starts. And it runs all the way across the country to just down the road from me. About 30 minutes from my house would be Santa Monica, California. And that's where I-10 ends, and this is the ass of the pig. So unfortunately, I'm now in the rear end. So there's more to this. I have to get in touch with this particular gentleman who was explaining this to me. But I found it very, very interesting that I had to make my way through the entire pig. And basically came here and unloaded all my shit and woke up, and now I can carry on with what I was truly meant to do. And that it just resonated with me when this man explained it to me. When you look at the map like this, and I don't know, I can see it plain as day now. Every time I look at the map of the country, I see a pig. And now pigs are popping up everywhere.
Well, look at the Gravity Falls episode of Time Travel with Pig. Right above the door is the one of the booths is Winnipeg, right? And Winnipeg is the Masonic capital of North America. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, Winnipeg, right? That's and of course the pig's name is Waddles, of which I found Wade hearing from, which involves his or her out-of-court identification. What is that? Isn't that interesting?
Isn't it amazing what led you to Wade hearing?
Yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, that document came out of following the now moments and the bits of trail that were being presented to me in movies and cartoons and conversations. And, and there it is right before your very eyes. Mm. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just very cool. It's amazing what you can find in a cartoon, Santo. I was telling you the other day about a Christmas cartoon that I caught on Cartoon Network, and my niece sat down and she wrote down every little thing that she could remember about the cartoon. Come to find out, it was from Cartoon Planet, and the skit is called Christmas Con Carne. And it's about Rupert the Green-Nosed Reindeer. When all the others made fun of him, he went into solitary confinement and worked out. So this is a 12-year-old child that just saw the show one time, and then a couple of days later, I went back and started asking her about it because I had tried to Google and find it, and I couldn't find it. And so I asked her, "Can you please just jot down whatever you remember?" And thank goodness for her photographic memory. And then she went on demand and actually found the cartoon again. Then there's Captain Scar from Billy and Mandy. Okay, so this was a parody off of, it kind of had a parody from several different shows in it, but Billy and Mandy, Captain Scar was dressed up in a Santa Claus outfit, and he had the Santa Claus hat on with a glass dome over his head with a brain floating around in it. So a red head, and he's got red hair, and a brain that has to attach to a being to have a body. He has a bear for now. He's got a bear for now, okay? And his wife is a pancreas attached to the bear's stomach. Rupert's nose is a laser. The brain tries to take over Santa. The other episode was Dexter versus Santa, Cartoon Planet 66, Cartoon Network, run by the characters Space Ghost. Okay, I'm just skimming because but there was so much symbolism in that cartoon, and I have to go back and look it up again. So, but the thing that caught my attention was the Santa Claus hat with the glass dome and the brain floating in, and all I could think of was the Santa Claus, the claustrum.
Yeah, and for those interested, you might want to Google the coat of arms for Venice and look for the Santa hat there. You might want to look at the Senate for the United States, their logo. Look for the Santa hat there. And the hidden Santa hat, which is the red velvet within the crown that royalty, supposed royalty, and England likes to wear. So Santa hats are everywhere. And again, once you start seeing through the nonsense that has been foisted upon mankind, yeah, we are definitely out of the I believe and moving and are in now the I know. So, and is Santo there? Or?
Yep, I'm back.
Oh, there you are. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were there or not.
Yes.
Hey, someone's asking what led you to the Gravity Falls.
Victoria.
Okay.
Yeah, Victoria. We were talking the one day, and she said about this cartoon that her daughter was watching. I said, "Oh yeah, what's it called?" And she says, "Well, Gravity Falls," and she started explaining a couple things about it, and I said, "Oh, okay." So as soon as I got back to base, it was like all over it, like white on rice, and I'm going, oh my god. I mean, even I'll show you the synchronicities. Like in the Summer Ween episode, it clearly shows you twice the S&P index, both in the costumes that the kids wore in the 3rd grade, salt and pepper, and then there's a notice later on that has no S&P allowed, and no photos on Facebook. Anyway, I've got a bunch of it decoded, and of course, where I was for Christmas Day, the 2 dogs are called Striker and Pepper S&P. So it's all there. Just a coincidence, though. It's all just a coincidence. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
You know? But that's it. I mean, it's just following things that resonate with me, and that's what people have been so entrained away from. You know, what are your thoughts on that, guys? Not all at once. Yeah, you know. Go ahead.
Sorry,
let's hear from Tony.
No, I was just saying, I was just typing again on something you mentioned before. Andrew Norton Webber's an expert on the UT. I've dropped his details in there. Maybe you want to give him a call and see if he'll come on.
Yeah, I've had Andrew Norton Webber on American. Twice I've interviewed Andrew, and I've learnt a lot of stuff from him. But certainly he's got some great links and some great information and resources. That guy, absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to let you guys talk a bit tonight, you know, because I like hearing from you. So work with me here. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to get Andrew on the show. And, listen, I'm only going off my own experience here and the little bits that I found out here and there. So I got to tell you, if you want to play the game, start getting your wee into you and watch what happens. And don't cry to me if you feel stupid, okay? Because you have been filled with so much poisons for so long. And you want to get rid of it? Well, there's your answer. And if you can't do it, then shut up. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm already doing it, and I'm seeing the results for myself. So don't take my word for it. Try it. Or don't. If you don't try it, shut up. I'm not interested because you don't understand and because you're not doing it. You're trying to tell me you don't like cauliflower and you never eat this shit. So, sorry, money where your mouth is. Or better yet, you're in therapy where your mouth is. And get your purest essence recycled and recirculating. Miranda, look at Lexigram Extraordinaire Girl, the elf, the word elf. This isn't coincidence, guys. Same with Santos. No, Tony, are you finally getting okay with it?
I always have been.
I was saying, Tony, I know you're fine, Santos. And Cyndi as well. I know I am. How are you doing with it, Tony?
Let's just say single steps are always the first part of any journey.
Good. Well, at least you're trying, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of it comes down to diet as well, Kate. Unless you're eating right and you've got, everything's right around you, it's, drinking lots of water and all the rest of it, it changes the situation, really, doesn't it? If you're eating good food and you're on a good, clean, system when you're able to, then it's a lot easier.
Yeah, well, to a certain extent. I mean, I don't always get what I need. I'm a vegetarian, and I don't always get to eat the right things. But what I do have is I have the right mind in the hermetic sense that whatever I do ingest, I'll turn into something I need anyway. So, anyway, works for me. Works for me.
Yeah, all good.
Works for me too. I can't eat. I have eaten a little bit of meat over the past few months, but it's basically because that's all we have here in the house at certain points in time. But the majority of my diet is fruits and vegetables, distilled water, and my gold.
And I had really, really yummy deviled eggs yesterday. Like eggs, I don't eat a lot of, but eggs you can eat. hasn't got a face and it's not fertilized.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, I'm not. Oh, go ahead.
No, I said I love my eggs, and the hard boiled is my favorite. Hard boiled and poached. Just to throw that in there.
Awesome. I love poached eggs.
Yeah, scrambled eggs. I think you're good. That's nice.
Well, we got 11 minutes here, guys, so chip in and let's get some final thoughts going on here. Cyndi, Santo, Tony, what do you got?
Go Santo.
Santo, what's going on with the other documents you said that your niece is working on?
Yeah, well, she's going to do a Shiva and Jehovah document. So where you see she's got it's beautiful actually. She's got the circle of the zodiac, so you see all the fixed signs in them, and then she's got the Rider-Waite tarot card next to it, so you can see the correspondences, and she's put the letters of the constellation next to them, so you can see Jehovah clearly. But now she's going to do the Shiva one, and once she does that, we'll hopefully she'll do it before she leaves for the country. She's leaving this afternoon. So after the show, I'm going around to her place to fix that up and then publish it. But that'll be great for the Hindu people because they love their Shiva and they know that the destroyer is the same as the destroyer in the Bible, Jehovah. This is why Jehovah keeps saying, I am the God of armies and I am a jealous God, because it's referring to that part of nature, that archetype that does the destroying, not for the purpose of destroying and putting an end to things, but for the purpose of transforming, you see. So that's the role of Shiva. And there it is in the sky. I mean, the Hindu people are going to love that. They're just going to love it. They're going to lap it up. And, of course, so will the Christian and the Jewish Christian system, and even the Muslims. I mean, we've got to go back to astrology, the mother of science, to understand all things. It is the key. It holds the key. The key is there, clearly. The irrefutable evidence of this, done by many, many great scholars, you know, going back all the way 2,000 years. I've uncovered Plutarch's work, Porphyry, Julian, Celsus, all the way through Giordano Bruno all the way to Jordan Maxwell. And, you know, and hundreds and hundreds of scholars' work that show that everything is in the stars. The first and original gospel is in the stars. Then all the other gospels and all the other levels of meaning, they are subject to the astrological meaning first. There is biochemistry in the gospels. There is eschatology in the gospels. There is astrotheology. There are many, many layers, and we need to elevate the platform that we are on to be able to see these things. And this will be one that will please many, many people because it's on the bottommost physical level. All you do is you look up, and there you see the name of Jehovah in the skies where it's always been. And always has been. And the Bible gives you plenty of hints that it is Jehovah, because the cherubim that the Bible describes is the man, the bull, the eagle, and the lion. Now, that corresponds perfectly with the four fixed signs of the zodiac, where the name Jehovah, the tetragrammaton, is. There's no coincidence to this, guys. There's no inventing. I received a letter the other day by a compliment. It was complimentary. Most of them are, but many people have their doubts. And this is because they've still got one foot in the lower mind. They're still participating with the game. You know, you've got to lose the fictions, lose them. And this woman said, "Oh, Santos, great information, blah blah blah, but aren't you stretching it to fit a little bit? I.e., when you talk about Jacob climbing the ladder and finding God, and he called the place Penuel, and you say it's pineal, the pineal gland." And so I wrote back to her and I explained to her that rest assured, there's none of me in my presentations, none of my opinions, nothing invented, nothing stretched to fit. It's all researched, and I've done this deliberately so that it will never be attacked and it will stand the test of time forever. It will always stand, it will always be true in any context, in any universe. That's why I did it. And I lean on the best scholars, the greatest scholars. And I can't tell you how many times I have seen that Penuel in the Bible is referring to pineal. It cannot be referring to anything else. When you understand that words are containers and the universe is being produced by words. In fact, the Bible calls it the Word of God, the Logos, the creating fiat. And so when you understand that, and you have the key, the astrological key, there is no botching it up, there is no stretching it to fit. It is, because it's what I'm doing is showing how universe mind thinks. And the English language is the perfect medium for this. It's the perfect angelic language. That's why it's called English, because it's about the language of angels, angles. And we need to discover this really, really quick, because they've taken this science away from us deliberately. Because this is the science that liberates. When you know astrology, when you understand astrotheology, you have the key to understanding all the scriptures, there's no longer any need of the abusive priest class to exist, and no longer any need for the bar to exist, and there's no longer for government to exist either. We will be self-determined, we will know who we are, we will think for ourselves, liberated and free the way we were designed to be, and there's no other way to live, no other way. If you want to be a zombie, you can live under the corporate Patriot Act and Nazism if you wish to, but you will suffer the consequences. Only the free will enjoy the blessings. Only the free.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
And that's it.
That is it. And the very things that you were talking about there are the syncretic
And I've dropped
things.
off, haven't I?
No, you're still there. You're still there. Yeah, maybe your speakers are off again, but over the next couple of days, I'm going to be working on an essay to try to put into words that which I'm trying to say, which I always seem to do a better job when I write things, because I can see and hear everything as I'm doing it. I don't like doing just sound, and I don't like doing just sight. I like to put them both together. That way it's a more cohesive reality. But yeah, we got about 3 minutes left here, guys, so maybe a quick wrap-up, and I'm going to be, Tony, we're doing a show tomorrow, do you know, or yes? Yes or no?
Yes, we've got a show on Truth Central tomorrow at 10 till 12.
Okay, that's UK time, which is 5 to 7 Eastern Standard. Santo, have you got American Freedom after this tonight?
No.
Okay, all right. So, well, that sucks. What am I going to do? I have to do more research now, damn it. Anyway, that means I have to watch some cartoons. Yeah, so final thoughts, guys.
Did you get my comments, or did I drop off 5 minutes ago?
We heard you loud and clear. It was awesome.
We heard you just fine, Santos. It was beautiful.
Wow.
The chat room was actually enjoying it quite as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but you know it's all made up, though, right, Santo? And yeah. I wish you weren't so original. You're really making me think outside the box, Santo. And I'm not very comfortable. I want to pay taxes. Damn it. Anyway.
Yeah, and the priests are not that bad after all. They're like little boys, but you know, I mean, they're there.
Well, they wear condoms for Christ's sake. You know.
Mm. Yeah. Let's tolerate them a bit longer. Yeah, let's have it.
Yeah.
Come on, let's stop teaching this truth, guys, and and stop doing the radio and stop doing presentations which teach people how to think, and let's conform. Come on, conform and obey. It's lovely. Let's be uniformed and just...
Bow down, bend over, and grease up. I'm sorry, no. Mm-mm.
No, that's pretty close, but there you go. Anyway, we've got a minute and a half here. I'm just going to close off with saying thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Outside the Box here on Outside the Boxing Day. The 1, 2, 3 rule came into play of 3 times the charm: Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. It's just a coincidence. So the notice has been delivered to those that need it. And now I'm going to have some fun. And those that have that little invocation of the cross, send it everywhere. It's educational. It'll wake people up. And the more people that get it and get it into the consciousness, the faster we get this thing down, and everything's great. We got some other good news that we can't talk about, but just say we got some amazing shit coming. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned, guys, because remedy of all remedies is a-coming. This is the third part of the remedies that we've already provided, Kate, with your document and with the astrotheology and syncretism and astrotheology. This is the next one. It's big. It's coming.
Yep. Yeah, we're all parts of the puzzle. So anyway, much love to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Outside the Box here on Freedom Reigns. Yeah, well, we'll be back Friday with Tony's Cosmic Blueprints. Cyndi, Tony, we got 20 seconds. We can go past the hour, but just final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I'm just enjoying the elegance of being on the platform with you all, and it's an amazing yellow brick road that we're traveling down right here. I'm very excited to hear what's coming up next. I've heard a little snippet here and there of the information fixing to come down the pipe. And so I'm actually just having daydreams about it and can't wait to hear the end result of what's going on. So looking forward to hearing that information.
Beware the Ides of March, system. Caesar gets himself taken out.
Yes.
No,
Tony, Santos, final comments?
Yes. Just like to encourage people just to continue researching. Research is the activity that will bear fruit in terms of knowledge and understanding, which will then lead to wisdom, and then you have the correct platform to see things the way they really are. Lift the platform. Elevate the platform.
Perfect. Tony?
Yeah, just thanks to everybody listening. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to be here again with you tonight, talking to you guys out there in Radio Land. And thanks. Love you all.
All right. Awesome. I know there's going to be people chomping at the bit to get this recording because they know we went past the hour and they're going to want to hear what we were talking about. Yes, beautiful, magical things coming. We can't say anything right now, but rumor has it that we're going to be pivotal in getting the news out. So stay tuned. We love you. Thanks again to all you guys, Santos, Cyndi, and Tony. You are angels of angels, and I am humbled and honored to be in your presence of such a beautiful mirror.
Likewise, Ken.
Right? Isn't it great? Look at us. You know, the us. Anyway, so everyone, thank you so much for tuning into Outside the Box. I'm your host, Kate of Gaia, and we'll catch you guys Friday night on Freedom Reigns, 7 to 9 Eastern Standard. Midnight to 2 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and I guess 11 to 1 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Melbourne time the next day, Santo?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I was muted.
Well, that's okay. Anyway, we'll
looking at my clock.
We'll call this one. We'll do a little potty break, and maybe we'll have a chat off the air. And I know you've got to go and see Sonia, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll be back in short time.
Okay, we'll tell you what. Why don't you to give us a dingle when you get back? I'm not sure if Tony's still going to be awake, but I'll definitely be here, and I know Cindy's 3 hours behind me, so I know she'll
sure.
be okay? Okay.
It's only 6 o'clock here, and I'm just going to grab a bite to eat, and I will be here.
Excellent. All right, guys. Much love to you all, and we'll catch you guys very shortly. So we'll wait for your call, Santo. Okay?
Okay. See ya.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you too.
and disinformation and real information. You got to present both. That's how you approach credibility. So I do not debunk everything that Dallas does. At the same time, I do not support everything he does either. I take out of it what is real and resonates with me. And he's exposed a lot of the Occupation Wall Street people, the actors, the ones for Sandy Hook, the ones for the Aurora, false flag events. I mean, he's exposed a group of people, and it's always the same families, the same groups of actors and individuals that are showing up, like in the Griffin shooting. It's mind-boggling once you see it. But honestly, that's Dallas. You're going a little too far with Santos. Jesus. Anyway.
I mean, he's got. There you go. I mean, he's not a bad-looking guy, so that's good. At least he didn't put me with a monster or something like that. But who is David Patrick Kelly, anyway? Is he the musician?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So we'll Google him up and see who you are, Santo. You imposter, you. Yeah, it's not that I talk to you every day and what have you. I just again, Dallas, if you want to maintain your credibility with me and others, I would highly recommend that you do a little bit better homework than that. So and no harm to you, my friend. It's you've done some great work, and you've had some hits and misses. So stop taking yourself so seriously. Now, I don't know what level of the game he's playing at either. Is he a director or producer? Is he one of the starring role here in this movie? Is he just an extra? He's certainly not audience, I can tell you that much.
He is an absolute imbecile and a moron. That's what he is.
Okay. I'll still stick to some of the proofs that he put up, but that's okay. That doesn't make him the star. It makes he's got a good eye for things, for some things. So certainly for what he's trying to say, but it's not doing his credibility any good. So sorry, Dallas, you're going to get a big gray star on this one. No gold stars today. But that being said, let's move on. Now, who else we got on the Better Attack Kate, Santo, Tony, and the crew list? Any other inputs? I can think of a couple.
Yeah. Shoot.
Yeah. Oh, well, I just have to go back to one of my dear friends, Carrie Lee. Invited her to my home, fed her and family, and isn't it interesting that the same time that I met Kevin Annette, that she was there at the reservation, everything went south between me and Kevin. And isn't it funny that the same thing happened with Dean Clifford? And what she had been spreading about me with Dean Clifford was I was a drunk and a drug addict and all the rest of it. I was always like ripped out of my mind anytime she saw me and stuff like that. And Dean and I had a good talk about that, and he actually apologized for believing that bullshit. And anyway, so that was. Hey. Ho, 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 ho. Welcome to Outside the Box. I'm your host, Kate of Gaia, and we're going to have a bit of a fun show tonight. We're going to talk about American Idol for the next 2 hours. I'm kidding. Anyway, throw out my cell phone and Wi-Fi? Are you shitting me? How the hell am I supposed to get tapped and teach anybody anything? Not a chance. Anyway, we have Tony and Santos joining us tonight, and Cyndi is about to come on the board as well, so we're going to have a little bit of fun. A whole lot of fun, and that's all there is to it. So get ready for an even further awakening as we unravel the present past, which is what you're living in right now, because it had to be here. Otherwise, it would be future. You follow? Anyway, I'll get into that concept a bit more, try to explain what the Yellow Brick Road really is and how you can get home to the Emerald City. Within you. Hey, Tony, Santo, you guys there? Are you all good?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All good.
Oh, good. Excellent. And like I said, we're just waiting for Cyndi here. Isn't it funny? No sooner do... Oh, by the way, I should let people know that on the 24th, 25th, and the 26th, I did send out the Invocation of the Cross. And if you do the math, it's 242526, which is 678, which is 21, which is 777. Kind of works, doesn't it? Of course. And I set my times so that it would go out accordingly, using the proper numerological techniques that they like to use in the Black's Magic realms. And isn't it funny that as soon as something like that goes out, that people come out of the woodwork, eh, Santo?
Oh, yeah, they do. They do. People are showing their true colours now. They just can't handle this level of truth. There's a lot of jealousy, Kate. You got no idea. Apparently now, Dallas Goldbug has posted that I am Santos Bonacci is David Patrick Kelly. Of course, he's the moron who says that Fonzie from Henry Whittaker, what's his name, Winkler, from the old Fonzie, is none other than Ahmadinejad running Iran. Of course, you can imagine how he does his charities and his public performances and everything, and then he goes back to run Iran, and then comes back to do his Fonzie shit, and then he goes back to do the Iran shit. This guy's obviously got his hands in the wrong places, I think. Dallas Goldbug.
Yeah, and some of the things about Dallas, some of his work has been exceptional. But here's the thing: when you're dealing with truth and fiction, and actually, I didn't really get a chance to hook up with Kevin until very recently, based on a lot of the innuendo I know that she was spreading about me as well. So, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm surprised she has a show on American Freedom Radio. That really kind of floored me. I'm thinking, okay, well, I guess if you're going to scrape the basement, you might as well scrape it good. Sorry, and that's not a derogatory. That's a fact.
Oh, yeah, and she's come out at me this morning, so I blocked her on Skype, and she blocked herself apparently on Facebook, so she thinks she's quite important, this woman, but she's going around obviously spreading poison. Unfortunately, she's on American Freedom Radio, and she thinks that I'm an egotistical maniac or something like that, and I ought to go back and have a listen to your shows with Kate. You guys are disgraceful. There's so much hatred, and there's so much... anger and fear and everything. We're just bringing the remedies that will probably save the planet. Your document from yesterday, which will shut down the system, and the exposure that I'm bringing on astrotheology to shut down the churches that are raping all our little children, including probably hers. Let's attack Santos and Kate, shall we? So that none of these remedies can be utilised, and we can continue under the Jesuit raping system, shall we? Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a great point there too, and that's what I use as my barometer. I must be doing something right if people are coming out of the woodwork to, attack and pick things apart, and that's okay. Knock yourself out if you're having fun. If that's how you want to star in your movie, that's great.
These are people. These are people, Kate. Carrie Lee can throw herself in that bunch with Greg Renouf and the other Heather Martin, who wrote to me a couple of weeks ago explaining her position about how she's a seeker of light and truth. And Kevin Annett is a bad person. He's arrogant and he hurt our feelings. These people have been hurt by Kevin. Oh, well, isn't that awful? Someone who's about to pull the carpet from under the Catholic Church's Inquisition with his organisation, and they've been hurt by him, so they go around dissing him. This is how disgraceful imitators coming to the truth movement are. They just attention-grabbing, attention-seeking morons. Unfortunately, all of the names I've just mentioned, just a bunch of morons. You need to wake up. You need your bottoms spanked. You really, really need to come to this level of truth and lift yourselves up, guys. You can do it. You're just in the moron stage at the moment, but you can lift yourselves up and you can disseminate truth. You can do it. Lift up.
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about this earlier too. It's not. I got to tell you, and I know you, and I know Tony, and all the people I work with. There is no interest in becoming. This is the last thing I wanted. high profile. And I'm talking from the, let's go back to the whole, I'm still coming to terms with who I am thing. And, that's exactly the opposite of what I wanted. I mean, I was on center stage most of my life in terms of music, and that was never comfortable for me. So, when that Judge Battles video comes out, I'm thinking, oh, great. That's all I needed again, and I didn't. It just seems to work out that way, and I'm the last one to want the limelight. So, Carrie Lee, if you want the limelight, go ahead. But if you can't do it on your own merit, stop riding other people's coattails. If you think that's how you're going to do something, you're making yourself infamous. Absolutely. You've attacked me so many times, and I'm still going to say, pull up the boots there, kiddo. And I still talk to George and Jody, and a lot of stuff. I can only imagine what kind of filth you spread there. But George and Jody, I loved it, dearly, and you too, Carrie. So don't think that I don't. If I didn't, I wouldn't be saying anything, right? But whatever, to each their own. And if you want to attack yourself, because I am part of the one and thread, and when you start seeing how this game really works, I can see the desperation. Some people are clinging on to this to such a degree because they're so caught up in somehow this all being real, So
and you'll notice, Kate, it's always the ones that have got nothing to present in terms of truth. I've got 21 4-hour presentations full of evidences showing that I've been researching, haven't I? I wonder what these other trolls and morons have presented. What teaching have they got? Have they got something? Have they got anything original? Anything? I mean, your document is original. It has come at the right time to save us from getting sodomized by the Jesuits and the bar and everything like that. This document is salvation. My presentations is absolutely mind-freeing. You will be freed. You will know the truth and you will be freed from my presentations, right?
Absolutely.
These Greg Renoufs and all the other ones that I've mentioned, I don't want to even mention their names again. What have they got? A little bit of airtime and attention-seeking on the airwaves, and that's about it. And behind the scenes, they're poisoning and backbiting and blocking and attacking and trolling. These are idiots. These are just pretenders. I put this out to folks today. Pretenders have got nothing to teach. Nothing. They've got nothing to teach. They've done no research. A bit like David Simonton, you go to his webinars and all he says is, oh, the dark agenda is naughty. I don't like the dark agenda. The dark agenda are bad. And he repeats that like about 40,000 times in his 1-hour webinars. And I think there's 3 or 4 people that go and listen to him. And that's it. They have no original teachings. This is what separates the real truthers from the pretenders. All you pretenders, put out a video with some research in it, some truth, some real stuff. Like Ben Stewart, for instance. Like Peter Joseph, for instance. Michael Jordan, for instance. They've done some research, you know what I mean? That word research, where you have to actually study, and not just do your little trolly little things. You need to be a teacher. If you haven't got any teaching stuff, well, you're really just a pretender. Yeah, that's about it. They're pretenders. They're absolute pretenders, and they're backbiters, and they're little scorpions hiding behind crags. That's what they are.
Yeah, I can agree more. So I guess we'll just create those who shall not be named club. So they're all in it, and enough of making them famous where they don't. They haven't earned it, If you want to ride coattails, that's fine. Thank you for the compliment. If you think actually what I'm saying is worthwhile and worthy of coattailing, I guess whatever. Enjoy. unfortunately, you're doing the exact same thing that got us in this trap in the first place. You're allowing others to paint on your canvas for you without making it your own. So it's all good.
Nothing to offer, but only jealousy in their hearts to pull down the ones who have. The ones who have got things to offer, products, goods, resources, remedies, relief, truth, light. Oh, and by the way, Carrie's a great fan of my stuff. I really love your work, Santos. But you're being possessed by your ego now. You're out of control. You and Kate, you're right out of control. It's all over for you. But your stuff's really good. Thanks for those remedies. Thanks for that light, because we ain't got any. That's ridiculous. Wow.
Well, yeah, it's funny, Hey, Cyndi, how are you? And Tony, pipe in here, guys. I want to hear you tonight. We're going to have some fun. It's the post-apocalyptic show here.
Yeah, I didn't know any of these guys that you're talking about, so I just sat back like,
You won't need to. They're insignificant, trust me.
Oh,
Dallas Goldbug included. What a moron. To put my face in there with this David Patrick Kelly guy and say that I am he. I mean, come on.
I meant to ask you about that. I just ran across it.
This guy's finished. He's CIA. He's a shill. He's a troll. He's a moron. Guys, let's expose these morons and finish them once and for all on this planet. We don't need them. If we tolerate these morons any longer, we will not get out of this mess. It's time for action. Expose